Hi Aquarius, welcome into your general weekly reading. I hope all is well. Let's get right into the cards. The Death and Rebirth card as well as the High Priestess. So two major arcanas to begin your reading. This is a time period where there's a rebirth taking place. For a lot of which it's more on a soul level, for a lot of which as well, it's outside of you, right? This could be one, if not multiple areas of your life, or it could be a rebirth when it comes to your life as a whole. It's time for change. I feel like you're doing a really good job throughout the week for the most part, or in general, of fighting temptation or ignoring it. However that's going to look for you, and that could be more than one negativity or just potential to overdo it in your world. But it's going to be a very spiritual week. You're going to be hearing spirit loud and clear. Now, for a lot of which, like myself, it's going to be through your mind, right? Through your dreams. And otherwise, definitely synchronicities are part of your week. But if you're not one to normally or in general hear spirit in that sense, in that way, or see what they show you, it's going to be them speaking loud and clear through someone else's readings or through the speaking, via someone being spoken through for your behalf. There's importance throughout your week that feels enlightening. It feels necessary. You're going to feel like people want to praise you and you deserve it. They're also saying you've come a long way. You've come very far, and we're going to remind you of that throughout the week, okay? A lot of which it dates back to your childhood, if I could even say it, your childhood. It feels like you are going to get to know yourself better throughout the week, because regardless of what this rebirth looks like for you, it feels like you are changing and probably have been changing previous to this week on a soul level. Now, the way that you dress, okay, the specific clothing and accessories that you choose and ignore and don't choose throughout the week is very significant, okay? It feels like spirit's guiding each and every choice, and when they don't guide it per se, that's also important. It's an intuitive decision. I feel like being drawn to this reading, whether you think you do or not, you don't trust your intuition enough, okay? And so now it's time to, in select ways, at select points, to push you to sit in that feeling or notice it more so and trust your intuition. Because I really feel like, especially this week, there's an importance in the fact that you are feeling things accurately. You rewinding back, ignored your intuition, and it did you wrong, right? It gave you disjustice and maybe even altered an outside factor of your world, or several, negatively. Now, where you feel like getting into better shape, where you feel like maybe cleaning up your finances, I do sense that you're going to be putting in significant effort in regards to that. Just one moment. I really feel like your world is becoming more complex but more simplistic all the meanwhile. You're going to see evidence of this when you accomplish things easily, but then feel your presence in a very grand way. Does that make sense? Maybe even observing what you accomplished and noticing how grand that is, but how simplistic it was in the moment, or is in certain ways or at certain points. I hope that makes sense and clicks for you. But it feels like things that throughout the week, the Magician card, are clicking, okay? It's like realizations, remembering, taking place. Again, spiritual downloads, messages coming through. But again, intuitive hits very much a part of your world at this time. You are going to feel like spirit is speaking through you for a lot, drawn to the reading as well. And this is going to feel different when one spirit kind of hands the baton to another one. Does that make sense? It does feel like you are dealing with somebody who is a bit condescending, and I don't know that they fully get that. And if they do, they need to fix their ways, excuse me. But I do feel as if there's some drawn to the reading, like myself, where it's a reoccurring habit that's taking a focus. But more so what I was going to say was, you say, "I'm sorry," when there's no need to apologize. And it reminds you that you're a kind soul, but there's no need for that. And things come and go in your world, and that's also part of the week. But the amount of time I've held up the Magician card, you're manifesting. Okay, you're manifesting change. You're manifesting better for yourself, and I want to say maybe your children, your family, maybe your romantic partner, or the potential of which, and even I want to say friends and coworkers. Otherwise, but their acquaintances taking a highlight throughout your world. You will see people very clearly, and I don't see this being something new for you. There's a feeling of you just being very methodical throughout the week, at times without even meaning to. It's like accidental, organized success. Beautiful. And again, that felt easy or easier. You will feel like sprucing up your world in certain ways. I was going to say your facial complexion, okay? Things like serums and oils may take a focus, moisturizer. You will feel like the week also involves quality rest. It does feel like you have a decent amount on your plate, for obviously some more than others, but you do a good job at placing yourself in a moment of rest when you need it the most, to the best of your ability when the time is actually allotted. I know people have their obligations. A ring of importance is taking a highlight. A ring of importance, interesting, because I didn't wear one for this reading. I wasn't meant to. But you're going to find there's a lot of communication throughout the week via you, other people, spirit, once again, and your intuition, all the meanwhile. When you feel like the moon is your best friend, even when you're not per se looking at it, or her is what I'm getting, just know that this is important. It has healing magic, but you will feel like getting your voice out there at select moments, and this is very guided on a few different levels. You will feel a little bit unhealthy in certain ways. They're asking you, well, how do you know best for you individually? What have you learned and experienced, utilized up until this point? Regardless of how that looks and is experienced for you, how do you go about feeling healthier, right? Do you need to go for a run, for a walk? Do you need to consume something less? Do you need to consume something more? Do you need to meditate? Do you need to, in that moment, get some more rest? Or maybe just reground yourself in a different manner? It feels like the possibilities for you are being shown through symbolism, okay? Definitely the possibility of seeing infinity symbols throughout the week. You're a little bit shaky in energy at certain points, and it's not your fault. I wouldn't be surprised if you're an empath or just simply affected by energy. It's like someone drops something or you drop something and it startles you. That kind of, it's coming to be at one, if not multiple points. You're not super smiley. Why? I feel like you need to focus on your happiness more. It feels like you don't prioritize yourself as much as you could. Okay, in certain ways, yes, right? Say you've been taking care of yourself better, you've been eating better, sleeping a bit more, but then you don't actually do what makes you happy otherwise. Little things can make you happy, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to cost money. It could, but they're saying as well, clean up your money, okay? You made the right choice by investing in something. It feels like something that's going to help you receive mail, maybe. I know I just booked a P.O. box, but I feel like you're going to need to focus on future investments as well. It feels like one or two big ones, like a car, a living situation maybe, but also small ones. Say I'm getting Amazon specifically. Add things to your list. Feel inspired. Feel creative. Speak to the changes going on within you with selective choosing for the future in that sense. Loved that wording. You are going to feel like a manifester once again as the clarity rings true for what you're going through and more so what lies ahead. You're not going to get it fully at a certain point, but then you pinpoint it moments later and Spirit's saying you need to have patience, okay? You need to have patience. Everything comes in at divine timing. 607, look up the engine number meaning, 607. Where you did your best in a time of difficulty, we're going to remind you that you did an amazing job, better than you would even begin to realize. It was not an easy chapter, period, or several chapters for a lot. You've been through the ringer, I feel. Your helpful nature is part of the week as well. Um, you do as well need to remember to fill up your water bottle, excuse me. Drink more H2O. You're going to feel like necessities come into play, say, when you're hungry. Take a hot second or take an early break at work and eat some healthy food. And in that same time period, drink a ton of water. They're reminding you as well, everything in moderation. They were just giving me the feeling, the message in that sense of you can literally pass away from over drinking H2O, right? Too much water. So that reminds us everything, the good, the bad, the in between, moderation, okay? Moderation. One moment. Let's wrap up this beautiful reading because I'm getting disturbances in the background by saying you're doing an amazing job, Aquarius. Now go take care of yourself.